Yeah, obviously great, to continue to play in the postseason and to have the success that we've had. Utah Valley was very good, 23-win team, and then we turn around and play Loyola Marymount this next game, who, played in the preseason tournament that we were in and actually won it. They were the only team that won every game. They beat Georgetown when they played them. So from a tough conference, have been playing extremely well. I think they've won 6 out of the last 7 games. So it's a great challenge for us, but a great opportunity, for us to continue to grow and keep playing and practice and go through the preparation phase to get ready for a team that 2 days ago we didn't know a lot about, and now the guys have to go out there and really play well.
What can you tell us about Loyola? It looks like they got 2 good seniors.
Yeah, with Bateman at the guard as an all-league guard, leading scorer, tough physical, and then obviously with Markinson inside at 7'3", an imposing force both defensively and offensively. A team that started out great and played in a tough league, played in the league with Gonzaga, gave Gonzaga all they could handle in their last game at home, and with St. Mary's and San Francisco that had another great year. So they're battle tested, there's no doubt about it, and Mike does a great job. Won a national championship when he was at Metro State, was an NBA head coach for the Charlotte Hornets. So he's got great experience, and those guys are well coached. They know how to play, big, physical at every spot. So it's going to be a big test for us. There's no doubt about it.
When I watched Loyola Marymount, I was really impressed at how good Bateman was at getting into the paint, scoring, and drawing fouls. Who does he remind you of?
He's a typical AAC guard. When you look at the guards in this league, from our 2 guys, Collins and Rideau, to Shiz Austin. He's a little bigger and stronger. Maybe doesn't shoot as well from the 3 as Shiz, but he gets into lane every bit as well. We have to do a great job on him because he's not only a guy that can score, but he creates so many problems because of his penetration. With their size around the basket, he can drop the ball off. They're a very, very good passing team. It's a team that defensively in every phase, we got to do a great job in transition. We got to do a great job guarding the basketball. They'll set a lot of ball screens, so our ball screen coverage has to be good. And the difference with a team like this is they have the ability to score in the post from 3 positions, from their 5 spot, from their 4 spot, and because Bateman is so big and strong, they post him up as well. So it'll be a big challenge for us. Defensively and rebounding-wise, we're going to have to be at the top of our game.
Tempo-wise, they're kind of slow and deliberate. Could this be one of those games where the first to 60 wins?
As long as we're the first to 60, I'd like that. But yeah, they're so good defensively. They were the best defensive team in that league. And as I said, that's the league with St. Mary's, with Randy Bennett, who's one of the best coaches in the country, and everybody knows how good Gonzaga is. So they do a great job of controlling the tempo. But they can get out and run when need be as well. They have the athletes to be able to do that, and Bateman is obviously extremely fast in the open court. So they're a team that can play a lot of different ways, but their defensive numbers are as good as anybody's we faced all year long.
There are 350 teams in Division I, something like that.
Yep.
You're one of a couple dozen still playing. How rewarding is that?
It's rewarding. I always say, I've said to you guys in the past, if 24 months ago you would say that on March 27th we'd be practicing and getting ready for a game and playing a game, I'm not sure anybody would have believed me. I'm not sure I would have believed myself. But we've made great strides. We really have, and the credit goes. I have a great staff, and the credit goes to our players because they've believed in it. There was times, when we had some injury bug and not playing as well. Guys out, it's a long season. We're 21-13. I'm not great at math. This would be our 35th game. That's a long season. When you start practice in September now and all that. But our guys have, when it was time to grind it out, they've grinded it out. When it was time to, kind of jumpstart it with a new positive vibe, they've been able to do that. And you have to have great leadership to do that. And I think with David and LaQuincy and TJ, obviously TJ is senior, but those other two guys are evolving into the type of leaders that great programs have.
What does it say about the program? I mean, this is, I think, the first time, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that USF has been to a Final Four of any tournament. What does it say about the progress of the program?
Well, you know, again, we have, you know, goals and aspirations for more than what we're achieving right now. But as I always talk about, there has to be a process and a progress, and this is a very, very good step for us. Again, any type of experience that you go through in playing in a postseason where if you lose, you're done, or now if you're playing one game to get into a championship series, you can talk about it, you can show film on it, you can, you know, but unless you live through it, there's nothing like it. And I think our guys understand that, and as a staff, because we've been through it at different schools, it's very important. And as I said after the last game, every positive thing that we can squeeze out of this journey that we're on right now and this tournament that we're in right now, we're going to do it. And our guys have to embrace that, and they've done a great job of that.
Is the most positive thing that you can take from this, is that the experience that you guys are getting playing in a postseason?
I think two things. I think the experience and also being successful in it. You know, success breeds success. And you have to go through that stuff in order to understand what it takes to be successful. And then sometimes you have to fail to understand that as well. And our guys have tasted a little bit of both this year. And it only makes us stronger as we continue to move on. And we have 3 seniors on the team. And so it's a great legacy for them to leave because when you do that, you leave something in the program that other people can build on. And those guys have done a great job of that.
I know home court doesn't give you the win, but maybe for this game in particular, does it underscore how important it is not having to go across the country and your opponent is?
Yeah, you know, and I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, we're really trying to get a great crowd here. You know, we've had good crowds, and this is a great opportunity to have even a bigger one. I thought the students were great in the last game, and if we can get them out here for it and so forth. But to play at home, we've won 16 home games. We're 16-5 at home. So that means 21 times this year our fans have come and left in a pretty good mood. I haven't always been in a good mood after those 16 wins, but the fans have. And that's something that you need to build on. You know, we want to build an entertaining product where people want to come and feel good and watch a team that plays hard and plays unselfishly, represents this university the way it should be. And it's just another opportunity for us to do that Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Can I indulge you real quick on,
Yeah.
on the conference as far as your thoughts on Houston making it to the Sweet 16 and, of course, Wichita State?
Yeah, you know, I'm disappointed, obviously, in the outcome of the Central Florida Duke game. You know, as bad as people felt, when you're a coach, you feel even worse, you know, or when you're a player. We watched it as a team the last 4 minutes. And guy, I mean, it was hard to watch because even though they're our rival and all that, when you get to that point, you want them to be successful because it's great for the league, you know. And then it goes back to someone asked me a question, was Central Florida an NCAA tournament team? Well, obviously, I think that's been proven, you know what I mean? And at the same time, they asked me how good Houston was, and I said they're a Final Four caliber team. That doesn't mean they're going to make it, but they definitely have proven that in the first weekend of the tournament. And you know, they got 2 tough games starting, you know, with the first one, but they're really good, you know. And when you have those 2 senior guards, you cannot underscore how important that is. Those guys dominated the game the other night in Davis and Robinson. They dominated the game, and there was no way they were losing that game. There was no way, and you need that. And if you look at, you know, these 16 teams that are still playing in the NCAA tournament, for the most part, they have great upper-class leadership. Because as good as Kentucky is with all the freshmen, Reed Travis has been a key guy for them. And he's a 8th-year senior, I think. You know what I mean? You know, so, I mean, it's definitely an exciting time of the year. And then, obviously, Wichita State, you know, have dramatically improved during the year. But they're riding their 2 seniors right now. In McDuffie and Haynes. Those two guys are playing unbelievable. I mean, the point guard Haynes has hit 3 game-winning shots in this stretch of, I think they've won 9 out of the last 10 or 8 out of the last 10. But because they've had that great senior leadership, it's given this time for those underclassmen to continue to improve. And they're really good. They're playing really well last night. You know, in that game, defensively, they were very, very good last night at Indiana. So they're in the Final Four of the NIT, and then obviously Houston is playing. And, you know, getting 4 teams into that NCAA tournament for our league was big, because I think as we continue to progress, we're going to be a league that gets 4, 5, 6 teams in the NCAA tournament.